Hey guys, this is Locke. This is another Kokoa video, and I'm going to show you how I'm building her, and specifically how I built her to be able to tank these breakers. Because in the previous video I made, I showed that Kokoa is very strong as a tanker, and as long as she doesn't get one shot, she's fine. And so the comments I got was, well, what about breakers? A lot of breakers can one shot her, and that is true. There's a lot of really strong breakers that probably could one-shot a lot of Kokoas out there. But if you build her properly, using the setup that I'm going to show you, you can survive being one-shot. And so this is, the 10-5 tower. This is the strongest breaker. This is the boss, really. She has 7,387 attack, right? And this is my Kokoa stats. Okay. And obviously, I want to pump up her defenses and her defense resist as much as possible. That's also the reason why I brought Gloria here, is to have the flag, so that the flag will, again, increase Kokoa's defense a little bit more. Anyway, I'm just going to let this play out right now, and then we will go into it. So the boss is getting ready to, do a 2-strike combo. She gets some healing, and then she attacks, and there you go. So Kokoa survived, right? She has very little health left, but it's still pretty important because as long as she doesn't get one shot, it's really easy to get her health back up to full. Now, if the boss happened to have crit, yes, Kokoa probably would have died. I've been doing this tower with basically this team. The only one I didn't use really is Beryl. But Kokoa, has been tanking everything, even breakers, and I'm going to show you the build soon. But very often she does, like, if she does get crit, she does get one shot. Like, I just, sometimes she gets crit for like 11k. I don't know if it's possible to build her health to be more than 11k, but this is what I'm going for. If I did get crit, I probably have to use the backtrack mode to go back and change things around a bit so that she doesn't get crit, and I can't really do anything about that. I mean, you're already taking increased damage from breakers, and then on top of that you're taking extra crit damage, and that's really hard to not die to. But yeah, so let me show you how I built her, and then I'm going to show you a slight variation of my build as well. Okay, so this is what I'm doing with her. I am, I'm pretty much set, I think, on this build. Of course, there should never really be a set build. You should always be experimenting. But for now, this is what I really like. I'm using the Brutal Axe because that increases her health a little bit. It's only a 2-star, but once I get to 5-star, I think even if I get to like 3-star, or 4-star, it goes to 10% health. So that's what I'm really after with the Brutal Axe. I want to increase her health as much as possible. I'm using this resonance because I'm going for as much physical damage decrease effect, right? So this is giving me 15%, and a lot of enemies in this stage are using physical damage. So that's giving me 15%, and then I'm also using this unique coat, which decreases the physical damage taken by another 30%. Now, against that boss, this didn't really help as much as I would have liked. The reason is because first she's going to get hit with, that charge attack, and then the boss does that huge, attack for that 5k. So this is only going to decrease damage taken once every 2 turns, I believe. So, but, I still like it. The other option would maybe have been this one, but I like this item. I think it works well. And I told you that I had a variation. So if I'm against a lot of magic enemies, I'm going to be using this instead. So this one, well, I get some extra M defense, but more importantly, I also change the resonance to decrease the magical damage taken. Yeah, so I'm able to switch between the 2 gears that way, either magical damage taken reduction or physical damage taken reduction, and the item, like the unique coats effect, also helps with physical defense, and this helps a little bit with M defense. I might even switch it to the mask, where is it? This rejection mask, which decreases the magical damage taken by 30%. I might do that at some point, but right now I'm using this. But this is kind of the setup I have. On top of that, I am still using the Mercy of the High Priestess. I find that this is really too good to give up. Like, I was thinking of using the Silence of the Hermit for an additional 10% damage decrease taken, but I feel like the Mercy effect, which gives you basically an additional 30% healing, is just too good to pass up. So I'm sticking with this for now. And then the rest of the build is really the same. This is how I these are the skills that I used before, but let's talk a little bit about what else is going on there, like the characters that I'm using. So Magnus does a lot for her. Obviously, the first thing he does is he provides the leader aura, which is this one. But this aura, it gives, in addition to the 10% attack and 20% defense, it also decreases the damage taken by 10%. So an additional decrease effect is given to her because of Magnus's aura. If I'm using the Wilder auras instead, I don't get that. And if I'm also using Kokoa's own Wilder, this one, I'm obviously not going to get the 10% damage decrease. So running her alongside Magnus really helps a lot. And then on top of that, he has the trait, which is going to decrease enemies that are attacking Kokoa by 8%. So their attack is decreased a little bit more. I didn't get a chance to use the Cry of Victory in that last fight because he just never had a chance to decrease the boss's attack by 40%. But was it 40% or 20%? I think 20%. It would have helped if I was able to get this off, but I just wasn't. But, running him alongside her, as you see, it's really helpful to make her more, to survive better. And then I also had Gloria in the background as well. And I'm using Gloria's flag because it affects the entire field to increase Kokoa's defense a little bit more. Every little bit helps, right? So that's basically the setup I have. I shouldn't have brought this. I should have brought something else. But anyway, not the point right now. So that's how I'm building Kokoa and using her. And I've pretty much used this exact same build, and I've been able to beat all of the 9th floor and the 10th floor with her. Yeah, she's been tanking even against the breakers with this build. She's been okay, but also it's not just this build. Like I said, I'm also using Magnus alongside her, and so you might have Kokoa but not Magnus, especially because he has not been on any raid up banners, so we might not be able to replicate this exactly. So if you are not able to do that, maybe what you have to do is go with the Silence of the Hermit to get the additional 10%. If you just find that she's dying too fast, because the healing is not going to help. Like, she heals a lot, but it's not going to help if you die, right? So the main thing that you want your Kokoa to do is to just not get one shot. So if you find that that's a really huge limiting factor, like if I found that my Kokoa is getting one shot by breakers, then I probably, although I like the Mercy of the High Priestess, I would probably have to go with the Silence of the Hermit, because if she's getting one shot, that's like she's not doing anything, right? So because I have Magnus, I have been able to get away with it. But if you don't have Magnus, you might have to go that route if you find that she's getting one shot. And the other thing is she is level 59 now, so when I did it before, it was like level 55. So at 59 and with these resonance and engraving effects, like it has a lot of 112 HP plus 11%, and then this one's giving under the 5%. So I want to increase the HP as much as possible. So she has 6,000, almost 400 now. I've heard that it can get all the way up to 10,000. And as long as she's not getting one shot, she will do your job. She will do the job for you, even against breakers. But you just have to give her enough defensive gears to be able to not get one shot. In the previous video I did, I believe I used a different resonance. I used the cup and cup, which increases her healing effect and healing received by 10%. But I had to take that off because unless she got that 15% damage decrease, she was getting one shot by breakers. So that, that's the reason why I went with this one instead. So yeah, that's my video. Maybe I'll do a few showcases later, showing you how I did the rest of the other floors, because I have been using this team. Actually, I can probably show you here. So, well, those are my attempts for this, but all the others you can see are the towers, and I used Kokoa. I didn't use any, like, you know, what is it called, like those DOT teams, and run around and kite and use DOTs. I didn't do that. I actually just used, Kokoa. This was something else, and I've been able to beat them all with her as my main tank. So yeah, so that's it. That's it for this video. If you guys have questions, or if you find a better way to gear her to be able to do her job even more effectively, let me know as well. She's such an interesting and fun character, so I think there'll be even more videos of her to come. But that's it for this one. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.